Bad news for Samsung. Now, you wanted me to talk about this, Will. You were all over this when this happened. And people on Twitter as well, but you especially. You came running over to me. Remember, you shuffled all the way over.
I shuffled now?
Yeah.
I thought I waddle.
You shuffled, you waddled, you sprinted. You did a little bit of all of it. You wanted to pass me the baton. You came with this story. Samsung admits fingerprint access flaw on phones. Ooh, it's a hot one. She's a hot one. In the tech realm, people were tweeting me, it's a gate. Where's Lou Gate? Because it's a gate. Make some noise. Which is what people expect. You know, in this area, I got a little bit quieter in this area. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna go upstairs. The fingerprint.
Right.
The sky is falling. I'm not really doing that I don't know. Well, I'm really taking I'm zooming out. I'm
the
zooming
bigger
out.
Picture.
I feel appreciation lately.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
It's a great feeling. If you in the daily life, if you can approach the situations with from a standpoint of appreciation, changes everything.
Mm-hmm.
Really. The tint. You change the tint on life. Life got a tint to it.
Yeah.
Depending where you're starting from. I was telling Kirk the other day, half the arguments you get into, you're just hungry. That's all it was. You just needed a nice little meal, and you'll be a different person.
Yeah.
So that's the tint I'm talking about. We're human beings.
Yeah. You're saying a lot of people are hangry.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, or they're on some sort of low carb. They're on the keto. They're on the keto because it's hot, and they're just angry. Because they're like, why am I so angry? I don't know. I can't eat those things. It builds up on you, Will. It's a lot of rules to life in 2019.
Right.
People and rules, and you got to look a certain way and smell a certain way.
Yeah. You just got to appreciate things.
But when you come from the standpoint of appreciation, it changes your whole... So when you told me the story, you're like, should we make a video? And of course, there's a knee-jerk, which is run upstairs... order 28 screen protectors, start tapping away like the little, what is that one? Will, it taps like this, and Homer Simpson had it tapping the bird that's drinking, and it just keeps...
The drinking bird?
Yeah, the drinking bird. So there's a temptation to do that because it's gonna get a lot of views, right? And people do need to know this information. It's valid. They should know it, and I could get the message out there quickly, but it's hard to do it in such a fashion that isn't the sky is falling. It's hard to do it from that place of appreciation. See, the thing that was grinding me down was this idea. I was running into people in public, and they were apologizing for certain phones they had because they figured that I hated it or something. We talked about this previously, and I was like, hey, I'm a tech fan. I live in this stuff. I breathe this stuff. I'm committed. I'm connected. My whole progression and roadmap in life, where I ended up, how I start, the whole thing is intimately connected. And at no point did I transition to that position of feeling the way people were perceiving that I felt. And that was coloring the interpretation I wanted to broadcast.
Mm-hmm. Technology is good.
Well, that's difficult.
Well,
we can't go down that philosophical thing right now. To that degree. Maybe one day we'll get there, and this show continues. We might get there. But we're intimately connected. Mm-hmm. And we're going to leave it at that. We're intimately connected. And so the problem is, if you hop on these, whether it's Bend Gate or this gate or the last gate or Beauty Gate, I mean, I'll name all the gates. I was in the gates. Yeah. I was Bill Gates. You can't see the resemblance. But at a certain point, you start to really, well, when you come from the place of appreciation for a lot of this stuff, particularly in Samsung's case, or in-display fingerprints, or whatever the advancement happens to be, you realize the number of people involved. It doesn't mean you can't be out here working on behalf of the customer. You can help people, but it's a ratio thing, and it's a decision thing, it's a choice thing. As far as when you decide to dip in there, we're obviously talking about it now, so I'm not trying to steer clear of it. It's just, how do you position it? That's one of the things I like about this show down here, is you can provide more context about how you're thinking about it. So hopefully you can change the interpretation so people can understand you better, and then therefore not take what you're saying and
just skew it.
Well, to their defense, what other way to take it? When you do a video up there and it's edited and it's quick, it's hard to know the whole context of the thing.
It's like in a bubble.
Just by nature of the limitations of that production method. Over here, we're talking for longer. You can provide the context and therefore be more clear about what you're really trying to say, or what you're really thinking. Anyhow, Samsung has an issue with their ultrasonic fingerprint scanners on many of the recent devices: Note 10, Note 10 Plus, S10, S10 Plus, S10 5G. And they're advising that people go in there and delete all your previous fingerprint data and register new fingerprint data. This all comes following a recent story of a woman in the UK who purchased a cheapo screen protector from eBay, and it was one of those soft style screen protectors. A couple of dollars is what it cost. A gel screen protector is what they're calling it. And after applying the screen protector, any fingerprint was capable of unlocking the device. Now, this is a panic mode, right? That's the way that you protect your data on your device. And if anybody could walk around, just carry a pack of screen protectors in their pocket and unlock any Samsung device, that's going to be a problem. From a couple of standpoints, if they can unlock the device, now they can, from a theft perspective, now there's a reason to steal them, or a better reason to steal them. There's all kinds of stuff that happens after the fact. Once this word gets out that these are easy to break into with this cheap solution, ultimately, of these screen protectors. Now, we couldn't help ourselves. Privately in the studio, we grabbed a few different cases, screen protectors, different materials, and attempted to unlock our devices in this list with ultrasonic scanners. I couldn't make it happen. I couldn't replicate the finding, but apparently it's a certain type of screen protector. The official word from Samsung: please refrain from applying a silicone screen protector from your device until a software update, which is planned to be released beginning next week. Okay? This is bad. And it for me, it's a weird question I'm having. Because Samsung is saying, they're admitting it, which is good. Admit it, put the warning out. But the way ultrasonic works sends pulses to the three-dimensional ridges of your fingerprint and then gauges the return of those pulses in order to determine the depth of each ridge within your fingerprint. But that's your fingerprint. It's exclusively yours. Why would a $3 gel screen protector, how would it confuse the technology in such a fashion that the technology would believe the actual finger was there? It's because there's still another finger on the other side.
Right.
It's some sort of a bypass. Does it short the thing out completely? Obviously, this is above my level of understanding here. I couldn't replicate it in the findings. It doesn't really matter, I suppose. The fact is, it works. It can happen. They've confirmed it, and they're trying to fix it via software update. So it's out there. The other surprising part of this story is that it took this long to come out. You would assume people would be using these cheap screen protectors. This wide variety of devices affected, you would expect that this would have already occurred. But it's coming out now. So it goes to show you that some of this stuff can fly under the radar for a period of time. What's the takeaway? Are ultrasonic fingerprint scanners inferior? Is there some sort of technological drawback? Are they going to be able to completely fix it? Will we see it pop up again in the future? I'm not really certain. I know when we first started hearing about it, when it was being talked about by Samsung, they were saying this is an improvement over the optical-based in-display fingerprint scanners from a security standpoint. Obviously not the case. As far as we can see right now, that's obviously not the case. So it brings up an interesting conversation in general about in-display fingerprint scanner, particularly ultrasonic in this case, but maybe in general, this idea of fingerprint biometrics. The Pixel not without its very own scandal with the face unlock and the eyes closed. And people started getting concerned about that. What about my spouse? My spouse is unlocking my phone now. I'm sleeping. I'm taking a nap. And the spouse is unlocking the phone because the eyes are closed. So there's no perfect method for this, obviously. Google themselves, they also said they're going to go in there and attempt to fix it. There's no way to spin it. It's not good news. Samsung can't be happy about it. The Samsung owners can't be happy about it. In the meantime, what are they doing? Putting in passcode, old school passcode. That takes time. That's not perfect either. So it's always this thing with security, Will, where it's like putting 10 locks on your house. It's going to take you a long time to come and go from your house.
Yeah.
Every time you put in this extra security fixture, there's the potential that the convenience level goes down to meet the new security criteria. So it's this mixed bag. Remember, I was playing around with the face unlock on the latest OnePlus device, and it was working from the portrait in my peripheral vision. It was unlocking me from here.
It was like profile view.
And it was so convenient. But immediately I say to myself, this is so convenient that I question the security level.
Yeah, there are trade-offs.
It's always a mix. So anyhow, I had to get it out there. I had to talk about it. You were right, Will. You got to let people know. So if you have one of these devices, Note 10, Note 10 Plus, S10, S10 Plus, and S10 5G, you should go immediately delete all your previous fingerprints. I'm sure Samsung's releasing something very soon.
Yeah.
Obviously. But in the meantime, just go back to the regular passcode, I would say. Presuming there's no update available at the time that you're watching this, just go back to the passcode for the meantime and go from there. Because the other thing we determined was that the face unlock on all these devices listed, which was strictly optical, we beat that one in the video that I'm talking about not making for this.
Using another phone with your face on it.
Yeah, we made the video upstairs. So anyhow, it's never a dull moment in smartphones and technology. It's a beautiful place to be. We're having fun. Lots of phones to choose from. That's the good thing.